Are we recording?
Weekends are not for showers.
Spitting on the ones and twos.
Wait, are we gonna get copyright infringement for that?
Welcome to Hey Sister, Soul Sister.
We're really relying on our editors to do a good job.
Pump it up. Pump that lazy spirit up. Pump it up. Let's get ready to record this podcast. Hello, everyone. I'm Erica.
And I'm Leia.
And welcome to Hey Sister,
we're
Soul
here.
Sister. Yes, we're here. We are both semi-sleep deprived, so that was our
Yes.
cheer to pump each other up. So,
Word.
Word.
I'm drinking my coffee, so they should be kicking in.
Now, I am not drinking coffee because I still have a cough, but luckily, Leia told me to get some Mucinex. I know this is a week difference from the last episode where I was like coughing and dying, but in real recording time, it's only a day. So I have started my Mucinex routine, and hopefully the next time we record, I shall have a voice of an angel again and no longer die and cough.
Do you feel better?
I feel the oh, I almost hurt myself. I feel I do feel like the cough is less. Like I don't feel as I'm coughing as much. It's still there, but it's not as bad. So
Yay.
it is definitely helping. So I took the daytime pill yesterday around midday, and then I took one before bed, and then I just took the daytime right now. But I didn't wake up with like coughing my lungs out and all that. But yeah, I do feel a little bit better. So I'm avoiding coffee just because of the phlegm. It just makes me phlegm up. So I have my water. I'm gonna drink some tea later, but right now just drinking some H2O to rehydrate myself from lack of drinking water. So yeah. Cheers. Morning salute to that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of a rewind. I want to make this one short because we were talking about the Alec Baldwin thing, and then I said Bruce Lee died. It wasn't Bruce Lee. It was his son, Brandon Lee. And I
thought about it.
I thought about it later. I was like, oh, I said the wrong name. But in my head, it wasn't what my struggle was, where I say the wrong word and mean something else. No, I really did think Bruce Lee in the moment. But then I thought about it later. I was like, no, it was Brandon. It was his son. So correction for any of you guys yelling at me, from your car or wherever you listen to the podcast. I got the wrong name. Okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. That's it. We're not talking about that topic anymore. It's too sad.
Word.
And in some fun celebrity news, like some heartwarming celebrity news, I thought this was really cute. I saw on social media yesterday, Leia. You might have seen it as well. But Paul Walker's daughter got married yesterday. And true to his brand, Vin Diesel walked her down the aisle. Talk about family.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I thought that was so sweet.
Right?
It kind of stirred my heart a little bit. Like, they really are family.
They really are.
They really are.
I know, that's how I felt. I was like, oh my God, that's like amazing. Like to still be involved in like your best friend's daughter's life, and that for her to feel, so much love towards them as a family, to have her walk her down, to have him walk her down the aisle. And I don't know, I read like cast members were there, so I don't know if other members were there, but there was like just a lot of pictures of him and her, and I thought that was just really, really cute. That is so like awesome. Sweet. So, props to Vin Diesel and family.
Yes, that did warm my heart yesterday. It was like, oh, we need like more good news like this, like just heartwarming stuff.
Exactly.
I loved it.
I cried a single tear of joy. Just kidding. I should record it next time it happens. Like, just one tear of happy joy.
Just one tear.
Yeah. That was like my, hot topic of the day because it was just too good to not talk about
It was too
it.
good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
But we do want to talk about, before we get into our struggles and high vibes, we did want to talk about reboots. Especially one that is brewing, in the industry. It looks like the pilot's about to film. We're talking about That 90s Show, which is
Dun, dun, dun.
like a wound to our hearts because when That 70s Show came out, it was in 1998, I believe it came out. And I remember when it came out, and I remember thinking, wow, the 70s were the olden days, like back, old times. And but I really, really loved the show because it was like the first time I
Yeah.
saw a sitcom have that kind of family dynamic, like not perfect, like we grew up in the 80s where things of like Full House and like this perfect family, everyone was like clean, cookie cutter, and That 70s Show showed like a different family dynamic, which was more true to what people like experience. Like they still love each other, but it's not a perfect family. They're always fighting. And my
Yeah.
favorite scene was when like the kid was high. Like sometimes he would be high and the dad would be talking to him, and like it would show the view from the kid's side, and like the dad's talking in the background was moving, and I thought that was hilarious. I was like, ha ha, he's high on TV and they're showing us how it feels like to be high. Oh my god, so taboo. So I really love That 70s Show. So when I did the math, right? So when that 70s the 70s Show aired from the time that it took place, right? So it aired in 98 and it was set in 76. So that was a 22-year gap, olden days. Well, if we do the math, if we do the math today, and I think I don't know when the show's supposed to set, but if we do it from the time it aired, the first airing of That 70s Show to now is 23 years. So that is like 45 total gap from that 70s. And like we're basically in that same time frame that like when we were teenagers, That 70s Show aired, and we're like, oh my god, it's so funny. Like teenagers now are making fun of our childhood because we were in high school at that time. So
we're the old generation.
Yeah, so this reboot has me going through a midlife crisis, and freaking out because I know my age, but my mind, my spirit just doesn't want to accept it. So that is my very calm rant. Actually, I'm loving this rant because I'm just very calm because I can't be my usual hyper self because then I'll start coughing on you guys. But that's my rant about this show. Leia.
I cannot wait to see I cannot wait to see what they do with the fashion. Like I just can't wait to see like what are they going to get it right, or is it going to be this embellished version of what we used to dress like?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be very I don't know, because I don't like specific. You know what I mean? Like when it makes me think of one of Kim Kardashian's posts, maybe like a couple weeks ago, where it was like her in high school and she was wearing like these baggy jeans.
Oh, the chola look.
I'm like, Kim, I didn't know that was a thing for you, like rich people over there.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
in the like hood,
Good.
or in my
In
neighborhood,
middle
like,
class America, yeah.
yes, like I thought that was like ours.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was like mainstream, because if Kim Kardashian was doing it,
Yeah.
in like wherever they
I
lived before,
yeah.
Calabasas, who
I
knows?
sent my
I had no
sister those
idea.
pictures. I sent my sister those pictures, and she thought it
Mhm.
was me when I was in high school. And I was like, "No, that's Kim Kardashian." Tonda.
I didn't know. I literally thought, like, seriously, I thought it was like my neighborhood,
Mhm.
like where I grew up, and
Yeah.
that was like our fashion, like middle class, uh,
Yeah.
baggy jeans and
Yeah.
a baby tee or a crop
Yeah.
top, or like some like a tighter tee, and
Mhm.
maybe even throw on a flannel on top of it
Mhm.
with your baggy jeans. Like, I
Mhm.
literally thought that was like our fashion. I didn't think it was mainstream. I was
Yeah.
not tapped in back then too. Like,
Who knew?
all
Who
the
knew
things.
Kim
Who
Kardashian was
knew?
la brown eyes, you know?
Brown eyes.
La brown eyes. Anyways,
Lord.
we
So
digressed to the Kardashians.
I'm looking forward to that, to see.
Mm.
And I think we talked a little bit about this off air, was like they did try to do that 80s show, but there
Mhm.
wasn't like it wasn't a direct spin. This one
Mm-mm.
is. It's going to have like the grandparents, or well,
Mhm.
previously the parents, now they're going to be grandparents. Um
Mhm.
like, I think it sounds like the daughter of like Topher Grace's character, what's his name, Eric? I think,
Eric,
yeah.
yeah.
I guess I think their daughter is going to her grandparents' house for the summer, and
Mhm.
that's like what we
Yeah.
know so far. So I don't know. I can't wait
Yeah.
for guest spots, like guest appearances by the original cast. Like, I hear
Will
that
they
that might
show
happen.
up?
Like, no one is,
Oh.
yeah, like no one has signed up for like
Mhm.
regular roles. It sounds like people will be making like guest appearances.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about this one. I think this might
Yeah.
be a good look. I think it's going to be really nostalgic. I think for us,
Yeah. I think for me
you know.
too. I with the fashion, I did want to comment, like, they actually, when they did that 70 show, it wasn't, I don't feel like their fashion was exaggerated. You know, like, I think they kept it pretty like what people actually wore, and like actually people still are wearing that fashion, you know, because it wasn't, you know how like when you think 70s you think very extreme hippie stuff, and I think they kept it pretty like mildish, you know, they kept to that
Mhm.
fashion, but it wasn't like over the top. So I'm wondering, in the environment we're in now, will they still do that? Like, is there a need to go really satire with this, or keep it to where it was? And the actors, and I don't know their names, but the Red Foreman and Kitty Foreman,
Mhm.
I think they're very great actors. Like, they were like my
Mhm.
favorite actors on the show. Everyone, I loved Red Foreman. I loved Kitty's character, and she was in Friends, and she just does a great job. And she's been in like other stuff that I've seen, and she has this like little character to her. So I think at least they brought back two strong characters and two strong actors to play that. Where I feel like that 70 show was really centered around the group, the friend group, and seems like it's more centered around the life of the grandparents taking care of the granddaughter. So
Mm.
we'll see. Did you see who the granddaughter is, like actress wise? Or
I
I didn't look
don't
at that.
think they had. There, at least the article that I saw, there's not.
There's not. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a name of the actors, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll
Um.
see.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, should be it'd be interesting. I mean, I feel like sometimes reboots can be very risque, you know, like, can it
Mm.
be, is it going to be good? um you know, like, does it sit well with the times now, like the Full House reboot? I didn't want to watch that. Like, I've seen episodes
Mhm.
of Full House um now older, and I was like, wow, this show really sucked. I can't believe I really like this, you know. um But like, does it work? Will it work? I don't know. So that should be interesting. And I feel like right now with just so much accessibility to like good television, the bar is set higher. And I feel like nowadays there's not, I mean, there's still some gatekeeping in Hollywood, but I feel like there's other outlets for people to express their artistry. There you go. It was like art. I was gonna say artistry, artistry. That it's a competition directly with Hollywood. So like people have to raise the bar. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if some of the cast members come back. I know one of the cast members though. I think is in jail for like the R word. The R word against women. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And he was like one of my favorite characters too, but I think he got like convicted.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
Yeah. He was the character that played Hyde. But for the most part, the other characters, yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the other actors have actually been successful, like Eric, Donna. I don't Topher Grace. I don't know Donna, Laura something. Laura P. She was in
Okay, Orange is
the New Black.
Yeah.
Obviously Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. What Wilmer? Valderrama.
Yep.
He does stuff, but he doesn't do like acting stuff, but he still has a career somehow in entertainment. Yeah. I don't know what he does, but for the most part,
he must like invest or do behind the camera stuff.
Yeah,
like
produce
production.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna air like in 2022, right?
Yes. I think they're supposed to be shooting now. It looked like it was supposed to start 2020, but we all know what happened in 2020. So it says like 2020, 2021.
Okay.
So we'll see. But they haven't released the cast, like who is where.
Only just the main two characters. Sweet. All right. Struggles and Harvard.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I feel like I mentioned the struggle last week, but I'll re-emphasize it again. And then I'll add another struggle because there's two.
Okay.
If you're not going to Target to buy, Target's the exception. But going to stores just suck now for shopping. Like, they don't have anything anymore. Like, they have very much a lack of stuff. Like, everything's online now. And I get it, online's easier, but sometimes you want to try on clothes because you need to know how that looks on you. And so 2 weeks ago, we went to Express and I wanted to try on some dresses. They didn't have them there. Then later on, I realized that it was online only. I didn't see that button. But like all the dresses they had there were like poopy, and I didn't want to try those on. I wanted to try on these other dresses. Luckily, the one I ordered fit, and I was able to wear it. But that's another story for another day. And then over the week, Chewy and I went to. He was looking for shoes. Out of all things, he was just looking for shoes, and we went to like a few stores in the mall, and still, it was like the shoes he wanted was not available. And we know they exist. We know they're real. But we kept finding them online. We just couldn't find them at the store. So
interesting.
Stores have officially suck. And I guess too, like I live in a farmer-ish area, so like I'm sure like cities like San Jose and San Francisco and maybe LA, like certain areas have better stuff, but at least for like people that are not in these like big metropolis, I don't know.
Metropolis?
Yeah. I was like, what's the right word? Like these big areas, you're like shit out of luck and you have to travel like an hour or two to go to a good shopping mall to get clothes. So that is my struggle. Also, my other struggle is I thought Shang-Chi was going to be available October 18th on Disney Plus. I guess it's not till November, so I have to wait longer. So that
that just reminded me we were trying to do that when we were together, and
We didn't do
Totally
it.
forgot.
We
Like it fell
didn't
off
bring it
my
up. We didn't
radar.
even bring it up.
Yeah, fell off my radar completely that we were going to see Sanchi. Okay, well, there we go. But I think
Yeah.
you're absolutely right about I don't know if it's like an inventory thing. Like maybe they're getting, like stores are getting less foot traffic in. So they're
Mhm.
having less inventory like
The store.
in their stores and
Yeah.
pushed most of their stuff online.
That's what I'm assuming, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
is happening. Which kind of sucks,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it, but kind of sucks when you want to go out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And like
So,
actually shop. Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
do the process of shopping. Because I could see that, because especially if you're looking for something specific or like for like an event, you want to kind of try it on
Mhm.
before you make the investment.
Yeah.
But I have
Yeah.
friends out here in Vegas that love to shop. Well, yeah, they're like coworkers.
Mhm.
And I'm just, I hate shopping.
I do
Like,
too.
I
I do too.
hate shopping in like real life. I hate going to the stores. Like, well, it's just like the whole like process of it, the response effort, like the effort of it is just like it's not pleasurable for me. But there's people out there that love doing it, and I'm like, no, I can't. It's not fun. And
Mhm.
so, like the parking for one, you got to go park, and then
The
you
party. Well, you
parking. I
live
mean,
in
maybe
Vegas.
things. Oh yes, but and then the mall, like when I live near DC, I don't know if it's. I don't know. I just hated the parking, like parking, and then you gotta walk. You actually gotta go like store to store
Yeah.
and try on shit. And then it's just like when you have a vision, and I don't know if this is your experience, when you have
Mhm.
a vision of an outfit that you want, like it's like
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like there's the vision, and you're trying to put this together in real life. See, I'm getting hyped about this. I can feel it. I'm getting hyped.
Yeah.
Uh, and you go store to store to store, and nothing matches the freaking vision that you have. And it's just frustrating. The
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
is just frustrating.
Yeah.
So, since the rise of online shopping, I have become more open, like to it's just so much easier. You do run the risk of things like not fitting.
Mhm.
That's the risk we take, or like not look like it's not looking good, or you think it's gonna look good on you, and then you try it on, you're like, ugh, that's not what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's certain things that I will go venture off into the real world for, but
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
for me with shopping, like I feel you on that. Like you have a vision,
hmm
I get frustrated too. For me with shopping is like it's nothing to do with the parking, nothing to do with the walking. It's just like I don't I'm like weird. Like I don't sometimes I just don't like spending money. Um
mm,
but for me too, like when I was like, I remember when I was a kid, like I would go to the mall, like all the time. You like that's what you did with your family to get out of the house. We would go to the mall and window shop. And I remember seeing like a bunch of stuff I really like. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to come shopping and get like all this stuff. And so sometimes I would go shopping without like really any outfits in mind. But when I like actually had the money to go shopping, it's like, well, I don't like anything. Or if the things I like they didn't have in my size. And so it's like this is annoying. But there was a while, like every once in a while I love shopping. Like I get in my moods, but it's like one or two
yes,
stores and
hmm
I actually have to like mentally prepare myself, and I like going alone. I don't actually like going with people because I don't want people to wait
same,
for me. Like I used to like love going alone shopping.
yeah.
Um,
I can
I,
get that vibe. I can be
yeah,
down with that.
like as a big extrovert that I am, I was like I would when I lived in like LA, like I would have these days to myself, and I'm like I'm gonna go shopping and go shop by myself. I didn't want to go with anybody, and I think because
Yeah.
I'm very impatient, so like I don't like waiting, like I don't like shopping with other people because if I'm not shopping and I have to wait for them to get ready and stuff, I kind of get bored. So like I
Mm.
didn't want to impose that on people. Which is really really weird unless we're both shopping together. Like we're both doing the thing. But for the most part, like I used to love shopping by myself. But I had to get in the mindset, but like go without an outfit in mind. Because when you have that outfit in mind, oh, that's a struggle.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
That's a true struggle.
Well, and I think like you, I go through spurts where like I just don't shop for months and months and months and months and months, and then there's like the random month they're like, "Oh, I like everything that I see online. Buy, 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 buy.
Yeah.
Add to cart, add to cart, add to cart." But I'll go for
$1,000 later. All
stretches.
right, cool.
Like I'll go stretches of time where I'm just not buying anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then boom,
Boom. It's there.
I buy all the things. Yeah.
Same here. Same
Yeah.
here. We have the same shopping habits. For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
What's your struggle?
Oh, let me tell you my struggle.
Ooh,
Let me tell you
that came
my
out
struggle.
heavy.
Oh, because it wasn't in my awareness immediately, but let me tell you. So yesterday I went to brunch. I went to a drag queen brunch for my friend's bachelorette party. It was fun. It was great. One thing, like I read the text messages wrong. I don't know what happened. It started at 11, but I thought it was 11:30. Whatever. But I had nothing around it. I was just like, okay, cool. Well, I'll show up when I show up. I was meant to show up like at 11:30. That's fine. But I'm driving on the freeway, and like I see like the dude in front of me, Utah plates. Utah, tell me about this. So they're and I'm driving the normal. I'm not even speeding. I'm going slow with the traffic, which isn't even high. I'm not even at 80. It's like maybe 70. The speed limit's like 65. So I'm like doing my thing. I'm just driving. I'm not even close to this dude. Not even close to him. But I had like he or she, I don't even know who. They were moving into the right lane, but in like slow motion. Like like they were trying to get in this right lane behind this truck.
Yeah.
Things are flowing, but they did it so slow. Like it was like slow. Like they just did, and there was no one behind them, so it's not like they were trying to gauge.
Yeah.
Like this other car. It literally was like inch by inch. At first, I was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you swerving?"
Drunk?
But drunk. Like, I don't know. Like, but eventually, they got where they needed to be, and it wasn't like the car in front of them was super slow. They were just like, "It was so slow getting into that right lane."
Oh my god!
I didn't do anything. I didn't like tailgate them. I didn't, I didn't get too close. What I actually did, I didn't even brake either, because if they were far enough ahead of me that all I had to do was like take my foot off the gas. That was it. Took my foot off the gas. Like I didn't get too close or anything. And by the time I would pass by them, like finally got in their lane. But I'm not in a rush. I'm chilling. Like I didn't think anything of it except for like, oh, you good, buddy? Like, cool, get in your lane. Like it's safe. No one's behind you. I'm gonna let you do your thing, but it's all good. Like get in your lane. I passed this fool, and I noticed that he had flipped me off, but it didn't register right away. He was driving. Like he was driving, and like it just was like in my peripheral, so I didn't actually like turn and look, because I'm like, whatever, like it wasn't anything about the situation. But he was driving, and I could see like his finger up on the window as I like passed by him, and then and it didn't register right away. I was just like passed by, saw the finger, drove like two more cars ahead. Like I was way ahead by that time, because I'm going flow traffic, and it dawned on me, I was like, did that fool just flip me off? It took like 30 seconds to a minute to like reach my like awareness, and I was like, and then I thought back, I was like, this motherfucker flipped me off, and I was like, oh, and like when I get real defensive really fast, like when it's something like that, especially in my like experience. I have nothing around what you're doing. I'm not even mad
Mhm.
that you took forever. I just thought it was a little weird, a little
Yeah.
strange. Like, take your time, but no rush. I thought I was actually being very patient and very kind. I was just like, okay, and this motherfucker flipped me off. I'm banging my hand on the table because I was so defensive right away. I wanted to like
Yeah.
slow down my car and be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I was being nice to you. I was being so nice to you, and you went and flipped me off. That
I
was
know.
uncalled
So
for
rude.
and unnecessary. That is so much fucking rude. It got
Yeah.
me into like in my core, and all of that emotion happened in like a split second. It went from to do awareness that he flipped me off, then boom rage,
The rage
and
came
then
out.
like the rage came. I just because I really thought I was being kind and patient and nice, and this fool like flipped me off. So I was really defensive, and then like seconds later, I was like, because I was already way ahead of wherever I don't even know
Yeah.
where he was at. So I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, well, yeah, I'm like, you're going to brunch. It's gonna be fun. So I was like, release, like, I release you, dude. I hope you're safe. Like, more power to you. I'm
Yeah.
sending you some good vibes. I hope
Yeah.
you're all right. Like, I hope your day gets better because obviously that's all in your world.
And I never have to see you
I,
again.
yeah, I was like, okay, peace and love to you, sir or
Yeah.
ma'am. I have no idea.
You didn't even
But yeah,
know.
that was. I don't know because I didn't even like it wasn't even in my world.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and
Like,
so I didn't even look. I was just
yeah.
driving.
You yeah, when you're driving and you know you mess up and someone like cuts
Yes,
you off, like you know when you deserve it. You're like, yeah, I
yes,
kinda deserve that, you know?
100%. I yeah, if I deserved it, I would have been like, my bad, dog. Would have been like,
I
I would
fucked
have
up.
held my hand, did a little wave, like, my bad. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I didn't, I didn't do anything. I was like, oh, I hope
He
you
was
are
just
okay.
having a bad or they were just having a bad day. They were
Yeah,
just
that was a rough morning,
having
and
a
I
day.
wish them love because
Yeah.
that was I I don't know whatever they were in, they were in it, they
They
were
were
in
in
it. So
it.
that was
Yeah.
that's
That
my
is true.
struggle.
It was a little fun struggle though.
Yes,
With the return of the rage.
yeah, I was like, ooh,
That's
that
so
blood
funny.
pressure.
To sidetrack a little bit, you know how we had that conversation a while ago, like what is it, our claim to fame or whatever,
Oh
and
yeah.
we had talked about how I used to hit my sister with certain things. So my sister told my niece, and I was talking to them the other day, and then my niece was like, "You threw a shoe at my," or she said something like, "Oh, you threw a stapler at my mom," and I was like, "No, it wasn't a stapler. I was like, it was a broom, it was a plate, it was a hair dryer," and my
Hair
niece was
dryer.
like, "What were you thinking? Are you crazy or something?" It was so cute. And I was like, "Listen." I told my niece, I was like, "Listen, your mom stole my thunder. You know, like I've been abusing her, not abusing her. I've been beating her up since I was like 2 years old. She was in my blanket when I was like, because my sister was, I was like almost 3 years old when she was born. I think we're like 2 months and no, sorry, 2 months, 2 years and 2 months apart. My sister was in my blanket, my baby blanket, and 2-year-old Erica walked over, pulled that from under her, and she fell on the floor. So I've been doing this my whole life. Like,
God. Oh my
I
god.
told my niece, I was like, "Look, your sister came and your mom came and stole my thunder. I was very unhappy. I had to take it out on her somehow." And she's like, "What?" It was so funny.
So sweet.
She's my
So sweet. I
my
love that she's like in that's her like mindset about it.
I was like, "Don't you want to throw
Oh.
things at your sister?" She's like, "No," but they have a bigger age gap,
They
you
have a
know?
larger
Like
age gap.
when it's a
Yeah.
larger age gap, there's less of that fighting, you know? Like my
Yeah.
sister and I, we don't
Yeah.
have that big age gap, so there was a lot of fighting,
Mm-mm.
mucho fighting.
Yeah.
So, but fun stuff. I was
That's
like,
too
I was like,
funny.
why'd you tell her that? She's like, I just told her. I was like, all right. I was like, your mom used to steal stuff from me, okay? So that was my revenge. Case
It
close.
drives
Case
it
close.
drives she'll understand when she's a teenager
Yeah.
and the little one wants to like use her makeup or something.
Yeah. When the rage
And
comes
then
in.
mhm, you
High
know,
vibes
high vibe
times.
time.
Okay, I have a high vibe, but I don't know if I ever mentioned it. So if I mentioned it, we're gonna pick another one, okay? I'm gonna have to think
Okay.
of one really quick. Um, so a few weeks ago, Chu and I were like driving. I have like Sirius XM radio on my car
Hmm.
because like where we live, like we have to drive places to go eat good stuff or do things, and
Hmm.
our radio stations aren't the same. So usually we listen to like 90s alternative radio station, but we were driving and I was like, hey, put TikTok radio. And we put it on like as a joke. Like, what are we gonna like? What is it gonna be like? Savage? Like, all the TikTok trends were like in our head. We turned it on and it was like this amazing DJ doing like, 90s, doing like Queen, doing just like a mix
What?
of things. And like we're driving and I'm like, this is like I'm telling you, I'm like, this is actually pretty good. He's like, I know. like we were like like having like
Yes.
a good time listening to the music. And I guess it's like DJs are doing it like on TikTok. You know how they do lives? Like some DJs, they go live on TikTok
Mm,
and play music, and then they're
yeah.
also streaming it on this like radio on the XM, the Sirius XM
That's
radio.
really
Yeah,
cool.
and so they do have some trendy TikTok songs, but they also, depending on who's the DJ, they mix it up. And I was like, oh, this is actually like really good, and it's like a party in my car every time I get in it, and
That's
it's like on
awesome.
the station. I was
Yes.
like, this was a joke. Like literally, we were messing around. I'm like, hey, the TikTok radio, and he's like, oh, okay, and we did it, and then we're like, shoot, this is actually really good. So. That's my high vibe. TikTok radio on
I love
Sirius
it. That's a
XM.
new one. I had no idea that that
Mhm.
existed. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool. Well, my high vibe is, it's been bachelorette weekend
Mhm.
for one of my friends.
Mhm.
And so we did the drag queen brunch. That was fun. But at the end, they wanted to go like walk around, like, do, like daytime strip stuff. So
Mhm.
go walk around, go shopping, maybe do a little bit more day drinking, which was all good. But I was like, no, you know what? I'm good. I want to go home and take a nap. Um, like I felt like that was it. Like
Mhm.
that's what I wanted to do, and I felt really good about it. And it made me as I was driving home, I was like, holy crap, I'm in a whole different stage of life. Like I remember when like we were younger, like it was just like the going out, like the partying, like the events, like were constant and nonstop. Like we had a
Mhm.
lot going on. And we created those kinds of things too. And like I always felt like I had to. Like,
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm.
one, I wanted to, of course. Like that was where I was at, right? Uh, And and then there's also a part of me, like on some events that I was just like, oh my god, I have to do this. Like I
Mhm.
have to
Mhm.
go and like hang out. And I wasn't aware back then of my social battery. Like I wasn't aware of like
Mhm.
what I needed, like, just rest and replenish. Like I was a go, go, go person.
Mhm.
Um, Mostly because I was numbing. I wasn't, in a place where I was like could deal with like my emotions or acknowledge them. Like a lot of the
Mhm.
things like being a workaholic and also keeping a really packed social schedule, like for me that was like my version of numbing my
Mhm.
emotions, like not
Mhm.
feeling anything. So I was driving home yesterday as everyone was going, went on to
Mhm.
do other Vegas things. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to do anything that I feel like I don't want to do. And
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that I don't love these people. And it doesn't mean that like I'm antisocial. And it doesn't mean that I'm missing out. It just means like right now this is what I need. Like I am no longer afraid to
Mhm.
experience and feel my emotions or experience and feel like being around other people's energy, and I'm not afraid of being in my own energy. Like
Mhm.
I think that was something that was used to be really really scary for me, is to be alone in my own energy,
Mhm.
like back in the day. And it was like, holy crap, like I'm in a whole different space and vibration of life now, because I can be in all this, in all of myself, and be good. And I can also participate. Like I can do both, and
Yeah.
I create that. I set that for myself, and I was just like, oh wow, this feels really good. Like this is like this that felt really really
Mhm.
good and amazing. And I feel like I did both, because I think 2 episodes ago I was really concerned about like my energy, like oh my gosh, I
Oh
gotta go
yeah.
out and
On
like do all
the
these things.
on the Patreon.
Oh, it was on Patreon. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
was just like super concerned. And I like coming out of that brunch and going home, I was like, holy crap, I did it all.
Mm.
Like I honored my energy, and I showed up for the people that mattered. Like I did it all, and I feel really good. That was a really nice balance, and I don't think I've looked at it that way. I was like, oh shit, this feels great. Like
Yeah.
let's do more of
Yeah.
this shit right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the balancing part. And like you said, you don't have
it
to do it
felt
all. You
good.
were there for the Magic Mike thing, and then you were
Hmm.
there for the brunch, you know? And
Yeah,
it's like, and it was last minute too. Like, it wasn't like you were
yeah,
part, like it wasn't like we're doing this, weekend all in. Like when we went to like
yeah.
New Orleans, it's like a different
Hmm.
situation where it's like, hey, last minute we decided to do it. You live in the area. We're doing these things. You want to come? And so then you get to like pick and choose. Yeah.
That was the other part of my high five. Thank you for saying that.
Oh,
I
okay.
have
You're welcome.
people in. Yeah, thank you, Erica.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know what you're
I
gonna say, but
have.
you're welcome.
I also, so that was me, my energy,
Hmm.
all the things. But what I acknowledged too, because my friend Karen was so like, oh my God, yeah, go home. Like she was so supportive. And
Yeah.
I think about that. Like if this was a bachelorette, like we, well, I don't know, I'm local, but it like that wasn't that long ago, the bachelorette in NOLA. But I also know, like, if I would have said, oh y'all, you know what, I'm just energetically exhausted, I just need the afternoon, I'll meet up with you guys like in the evening for dinner, you guys would have had my back on that. And I
Hmm.
think I acknowledge too that I have created a group of friends that are so supportive of that
Hmm.
energy, like so supportive of like what we need for each other, right? Like for
Yeah.
ourselves, like if it means like taking a break, if it means like being flowy, if it means like being
Hmm.
flexible with what we've got planned, if it means that we all don't have to do all the things.
Hmm.
I like I have around me like these people that are just that love me no matter what.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like it's not contingent on how much I participate.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? And we have both been there where like the friendship is contingent on what you do and how much
Hmm.
you do,
Mm.
and the
Yeah.
constant, you know or even how you do it, like the order, and, and who's involved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like there's just so much freedom. Like
Yeah.
I really got, like I have so much freedom to be me,
Hmm.
and within my friendships, like there's so much love
Yeah.
surrounding me.
And I think with like, I mean, I was there in the New Orleans experience, the NOLA. I think we were all like there where we had this like agenda, right? And at one point we're like,
Hmm.
we're tired. We need to go back. And we all went back and like napped and like kind of had like
Yes.
moments to ourselves.
Yes.
Even if we were sharing a room, we had like moments
Hmm.
where like, we just want to be still with ourselves and don't want to look at each other. Not in
Mm.
that way, but like I think we all kind of were like in that same space. And so where you're like you know that with us you can be like I need a moment, but I think we're
Mm-hmm.
all like very in tune with each other that we all know when we need that moment and we all take it together. So like no one's really missing out on anything, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so like we kind of compromise each other in that way. Like we're like, hey, this is a bit much, like we are too tired, let's go back to the room and then just
Yeah.
do this later on, you know, or should we
Yeah.
cancel these reservations because we're not gonna go. I think we like
Right.
canceled reservations like 500 times because we're like we're too tired, let's just like not do anything.
Yeah.
Where as opposed we had this other experience where like every waking moment was planned, and if you didn't do that thing, you were like you were just like what's the word, like
Like shunned for it. Like
shunned
you're,
or shame,
yeah.
or like tried like
Like
being
you're not a good friend.
yeah, or like being
Yeah.
talked
Yeah.
into doing it when it's something you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
like we took in for you for listeners, like we took a big group trip together with some of our friends, and there were certain things on that trip that me and my boyfriend didn't want to do, me and Chewy and I were like, oh, that's cool, like you guys could go do that, we want to spend the day together, we want to do something just us, me and him as a couple, we'll see you guys the next day, like we want to do something else, like we don't want to do that. And I remember telling the person that, like, you know, the agenda was great, but it doesn't mean you have to do everything, you know? And I just
Yeah.
remember telling the
Yeah.
person, they're like, well, we should just all be together. And I was like, that is something I do not want to do. And I do not want to spend my money on that. And I don't have that extra income to do it. You know, like I have enough for this and I don't want to spend my money on that specific thing. And at that time, I mean, you know, I wasn't making enough money, so it was like all the savings that I had. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
if I go here, I'm not gonna have anything for the rest of the trip. And like they just couldn't
Mm-hmm.
comprehend. And I remember having this conversation and thinking, like, dude, you live with your parents. I pay rent and I have bills, and it's a very different situation. Like if I lived with my parents, I would be like, yeah, okay, I'll spend the money. But at that time I didn't have that extra income, and that person didn't understand, and I was very frustrated because of that. So anyways,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like things I wanted to do, and I was like, well, you don't have to do it, but like they insisted, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, there was this whole debacle. But anyways,
It's
over
stressful.
it now. Stressful,
Yeah.
but I'm glad I had that I did we stuck to our grounds and we had that day, and that was a very nice day. I really enjoyed it.
100%. Yeah. I mean, like, I can't say, like, I will say and admit that I used to be in that energy where we all had to be together and we all had to do the things. And I also participated in the judgment of it, of like not,
Mm,
um, being, what do you call it? Not doing all the things when it should be done. But like that was all me. Like that was all in my
mm,
energy and the areas in which like that was being called to be healed, because
mm,
that was part of my numbing, right? If I'm around people all the time as like a natural like introvert, I was forcing myself to be
mm,
constantly around people. And so like that wasn't about anyone else. And I think
mm,
that's the thing. Like, you got to be willing to look. And I think I'm just so grateful for my healing journey because I just experienced so much more freedom now, like, and
yeah,
not just freedom for me but freedom for the people that I love, to be exactly who they are and to
yeah,
do the things that they want to do without like judgment about it,
yeah.
or even to not participate, like, but that took me healing
Mm-hmm.
me. And I think, like, I'm just grateful for that, for this healing journey that
Mm-hmm.
is constantly evolving,
Yeah,
constantly. And I think
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
I'm just really grateful.
yeah. And I admit, like, I do have my times where I'm like, I don't understand why people don't want to go to things. But like, I'm like, when it's like specifically a trip and everything is like doing this, it's like, whoa, no, let's have a free time. But um, like for me, I think for me, like when we're doing like trips, like group trips, like let's do a lot together. but then let's also have time where we're not doing stuff together, like if we want to do it separate. So I think that's like the key to like big group trips, especially if you have like couples involved. It's like, hey, we're gonna have this, but let's schedule some downtime, and be respectful. So it's always a you're always figuring it out. You're never perfect in these situations, but yeah. So I think that's all. I don't have any additional thoughts. I'm done for the day. It's windy, so maybe power's gonna go out here anytime soon. I don't
It's
know.
supposed to be windy over here too.
Yeah, it's windy. It was raining this morning. We have a storm just for the next few days. I was supposed to go to San Jose to get like my oil change and all that, but it's gonna rain in the afternoon and I don't want to drive back in the rain, so I'm gonna cancel my appointment and go another day. So
Word.
that's our show, y'all.
That's our show.
We did the thing. We did the thing. Remember to subscribe. Leave us a review on Apple iTunes because it really helps other people find our show. If you're on Spotify, if you listen to us on Spotify, remember to hit the follow and the alert button so that you get alerted every time there's a new episode. And if you want extra episodes a week, head on over to patreon.com/HeySisterSoulSister. I believe that is the link. If not, they'll be in the show notes. And sign up for Patreon and do all the things. We love you guys. Have a great week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Peace.